Hi everybody. I'm here today to make a really short stream to talk about Dogs and Boxes, a game which is actually played on Little Golem. Uh, and it will be a stream really for beginners to just talk about the basic strategy on this game, because the basic strategy is not known from everybody. This game is a parity game where the strategies are based on parity, and many players who are beginning in Dogs and Boxes don't know the really basic. First, you need to know that if you go on Dots and Boxes like this on Google, you will see that actually Dots and Boxes, uh, well, you can make something like this. You will have a lot of books on dots and boxes. Actually, dots and boxes is a game which is really studied. It's really mathematics, and you have many things on dots and boxes. It's not like, if you just try hex, you're gonna have well, hex game maybe. Uh, well, you have the well-known hex strategy from Cameron Brown, but you don't have many books, and if you try Twixt, you won't have any books actually. So Dots and Boxes is a game which is actually studied a lot, but it's not everybody who is knowing the really basic strategy. I will explain this in a really short stream to try to give some well some really, I mean, really basic strategies. You have, well, in the books you have some really deep strategies because it's really studied. But I will just give the real basis to start to play this game, and you're gonna understand something instead of just putting some edges everywhere on the board, but you don't really understand what's going on there. So I will pick just my games. Let's say that game I played a long time ago, actually. Um, so let's take this championship that I won, actually. But it was in, okay, 2014. So it's a long time already, but we're gonna check some games. Okay, so here, red is starting in this game. Dots and boxes is played. I will do this. Well, I don't see the move now. Okay, perfect. Um, on dots and boxes, we are on the 5 on Little Golem, and we are just putting some edges like this, for instance, and then blue answered with this, and red with this. Okay, it means that you don't have your own pieces on this game. Both players are actually sharing all the board. It means that these edges are not some red edges and some blue edges. They are just black edges actually. You don't have your own pieces like in chess or something. We are sharing all the stuff in dots and boxes. And when you make a little square, you will see, for instance, I will go further in the game, like well, at this point, uh, when red play this, if you complete a square, it will be 1 point for blue. And when you take 1 point, you have to play another move. So here, blue played this move, took 1 point, and then play there. In the end, the player with the most squares just win the game. So since it's 5 by 5, it's 25 squares, and so you cannot have any draws. It could be, for instance, a really short win, third really short win, third really short win, third really short win. Whoa, what is going on there? A really short win would be actually 13 to 12. 13. What is going on there? Okay. 13. Okay. Now, how do you do something in this game? Are you just putting some edges everywhere on the board and in the end you are just trying to count who is winning? No. This is not how this game is played. You have a question of parity, and actually the goal of both players are to make some long chains like this. And the goal of the first player will be to make an even number of long chains, and the goal of the second player will be to make an odd number of long chains. A long chain is actually something like this, okay? If one player plays in, then the other player can take all the chain, okay? Since if, let's say, red play there, blue can play here, take 1 point, it's still blue to play, blue can play there, take 1 point, it's still blue to play, okay, and blue can take everything. This is not a long chain, because it's only 2 squares in your chain. A long chain is a chain with at least 3 squares. I will show you why this is important. The thing is, if you have, okay, at this point you can see that the board is complete in terms of chains, and now if a player is playing in one of these chains, the other player can complete all the chain, okay? So for instance, here, okay, one player played there, and the other took these 2 points and then play there, and then the other player, actually blue, can took these 2 points, and then he has to play in a long chain, okay? The thing is, it's mathematics. If there are an even number of long chains, the second player will be the first who will have to play in a long chain. And if you have an odd number of long chains, it will be the first player who will have to play first in a long chain. And you will see that not every time, okay, because dots and boxes would be really basic, but most of time, when you are the first player to play in a long chain, you're gonna lose the game. Let's see why. Okay, here, since you have 2 long chains, so an even number of long chains, the second player will have to play in a long chain first. The second player is blue, so Roro has to play in a long chain, and he played there. And actually, red won't take all the points. If red take all the points, then he will have to play in the other long chain, and blue gonna take the other one. So red will take all the points instead of the 2 last, and he gonna play like this. Let's see. Okay, here red completed all the boxes, okay, and then he played this move instead of this one. If red played there, he took this point, and there he took also this one. But he reversed the parity. He says, I'm not interested in these 2 points. You will have to take them, and then you will put another edge in the last long chain, and I will take everything. So blue is forced to take these 2 points. He played in the last long chain, and then red is taking everything. And so this is finally what is the goal of the 2 players. The first player is trying to make appear an even number of long chains, and the second player is trying to make appear an odd number of long chains. And a long chain is constituted by at least 3 squares for this reason. The thing is, you need to be able to reverse the parity. And as you can see, when you have only 2 squares, you cannot reverse the parity. If the opponent play there, you are forced to play to take the 2 squares. You cannot reverse it. But with at least 3 squares, it's possible. You can take, for instance, this 1 point, and then you are doing the this. As you can see, for instance, if there you had something, you can. I mean, with at least 3 squares, you can take 1 point and give the 2 points like this to the opponent, and so you reverse the parity. This is why a long chain is constituted by at least 3 squares. So let's see now in another game this in application. Let's say, for instance, this game. So in this game, both players, okay, are sharing the board, and red is trying to make 2 long chains, and blue is trying to make maybe only one, because here we can see that there are not many long chains, maybe only one, so it would be really good for blue. But okay, after this move, now we have 1 and 2 long chain, and since you have an even number of long chains, it will be good for the first player, since the second player will have to play first in a long chain. We can see it, just complete the board. And actually, who is playing this move? It's of course blue, since we have 2 long chains, and so red gonna take all the points but the 2 last. Blue will take it, and then red will complete. So, well, that's almost all I wanted to say about this game, because I think some players didn't know this, and if you don't, it's like you are just, well, the game you are playing is not really interested, I mean, because this is essentially everything on this game. One player is trying to make an even number of long chains, one player is trying to make an odd number of long chains, and it's a question of parity, and if you arrive to make the good parity, you're gonna win the game. I can just check maybe one last game to illustrate this. In this game I was blue, so second player, so I'm trying to make an odd number of long chain. Let's see what's going on. And so, well, like this, during the game, you are giving some points to the opponent just to secure the parity on the long chains. It's not really important to give 1 point or something. You can give it. Actually, we can see that blue gave already many points to red. So it's like red is really ahead. But in the end, blue just wanted to secure the fact that there is only one long chain. And so blue will finally win this game, even if now you have only 1 to 9. No problem, since it's red who has to play in the last long chain, since you have only one long chain, and so blue will take the rest of the points, and it's 14 to 11. So sometimes you can give points to the opponent just to secure the fact that you're gonna have the good parity on the number of long chains. Well, I guess that's all on dots and boxes. I just wanted to make this small presentation, and maybe it can help some beginners to appreciate this game. That's all. See you. Bye bye.